Elsewhere in the Western Conference, Lakers stealing Game 1 on the road from the Warriors, due in large part to Anthony Davis. 30 points, 23 rebounds, the best game in the playoffs by a Laker big man since Shaq 21 years ago. And they got contributions from guys they needed to get contributions from. A D'Angelo Russell, a Dennis Schroeder, each chipping in 19 points. LeBron with 22 and 11 boards. This series, obviously far from over, but what a drama-filled night it was last night between those two teams in the Bay Area.
Yeah, and when you're talking about a what is it, a sixth seed and a seventh seed?
Yeah, first time in a long time.
You never would have guessed it from the way this thing is already shaped up. And yeah, I think that was just a quirk of the Western Conference regular season and how things played out. But these are two playoff tested teams. Golden State showed that any of those nervous feelings about they can't win on the road all of a sudden this year. Well, they took care of that against Sacramento. LeBron and his team have been rolling. The one caution, I guess, is that the Lakers had a few days off. Anthony Davis was fine and rested. He's had a pattern of not putting together consecutive big games. One day in between is a lot different from, whatever it was they had, 2, 3, 4 days to prepare. And so, can he be that force the same way, in Game 2 and again in Game 3 and again, maybe they don't need quite that much, but he could have a drop-off. He had drop-offs against Memphis. And it was rather telling. LeBron too was, he's not invulnerable. He's pretty indestructible, but still, that could have been peak LeBron. So Golden State, it's interesting when these teams, though, just like with Boston, just like less so with New York because they're sort of fortunate to be so far, but they lose that home court advantage right away. It's a thing that they strive for all season long, and all of a sudden the series, looks like it could flip on something like that. Now Golden State, they're going to have to go out and win on the road again, and it won't be just a bus ride. It'll be a little longer flight down the coast to do that in LA. So, we'll see. But I think they know the formula. They'll figure out a way to not have Jordan Poole launching from 28 or 30 feet, whatever it was, with the game on the line, and the outcomes could flip. I think 3 of these 4 series are going to go pretty deep, pretty long.
Yeah, I could easily see that. I'd be surprised if the Lakers and Warriors don't go to 7 games. Defensively, I thought the Lakers were very smart in how they were playing the Warriors most of the game. They weren't concerned with anybody outside of Steph and Clay on the perimeter. They were able to dominate the paint. I think Jared Vanderbilt has been a tremendous addition to the Lakers defensively. Yep. But you saw that change when the pace quickened there in the fourth quarter. Their transition defense, not nearly as good as their half-court defense, which leads me to wonder, why doesn't Golden State just push the pace the entire game?
Well, that's a good question. We might see them shift that gear. In Game 2, especially if, like I said, key Lakers are not as fresh as they were. I mean, when Anthony Davis is dominating at both ends, it frees up his teammates at both ends. And so, defensively, they know he's got the rim, he's got the paint, and they're able to do a little bit more. But, I think obviously a quicker pace favors the Warriors if they can maintain it.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.